to a couple people about a new idea I was debating on, which was about a Grim Reaper. I personally started writing the concept piece in, I think, October of 2012. I gave it over to the second writer, who sat on it for a very long time, and then she ended up starting to write on it, and we got her motivated a little bit, and then we gave it over to some other writers to see if they could contribute a little bit.
There are very few horror comedies that can efficiently blend the two genres without seeming forced.
It's a great script, and the cast is perfectly cast, I think.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Originally, I had a different different actor in mind for the lead character. So when I wrote the initial first print of the film, I wrote it for an actor's abilities that I thought was going to be able to really do well in this role. Unfortunately, it fell through, and towards I think it was about a month or 2 months before we started filming, we were looking for a new actor. And Brandon Williams, his name came up. And I saw a sketch piece that he did. He was so good at it, and I'm like, well, you know what? We need that Jim Carrey element that Brandon Williams was able to create and bring it into this film, because at times, early Jim Carrey stuff, of course, at times you see Brandon, he's all skittish, and I'm like, you know, you gotta really bring it back a little bit. You're nervous all the time. You're in the process of becoming Grim Reaper.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I just have to ask, what were you doing at Lance's casket?
Lance's casket. Oh, that was a funeral hug.
A hug?
He called me up one day and he said, "Hey, do you ever do comedy before?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've done comedy." And he goes, "Can I see some of your stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I sent him a couple of YouTube links, and he saw the Liar Liar sketch. He goes, "Oh my God, I love this."
This is really Brandon's role. He did such an amazing job in all the elements that he was able to bring to the screen, that it was just remarkable to actually have that type of talent, because he really holds the film.
Is anyone there?
Adam? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
Outlook?
I'm looking.
You like?
Scene 26, shot 6B, take 1.
Action.
Set.
When I first saw the script, I just perused it, and I was looking. He says, "I want you to play Death," and I just perused it. And where is Death? And he said it was Magoo. It's a great role to get into, and I thought, how do you play Death? And I played him very dry. I played him very Shakespearean, extremely Shakespearean.
You want to branch it out to reality, to what we are, and life and death and God and Satan, and there's this guy in the middle. He's just doing a job. Hey, I got to collect this, I'm just the middleman. You got God saying, "Come on, meet your quota," and you got Satan going, "Hey, where's my delivery of souls?" And that whole, get your mind wrapped around that death is not good or evil. He's just death.
Some of the roles were actually written for certain people. The Mike Esprachi character, who is Magoo, aka Death, that actually was written for him off of a film called Black Guy on a Rampage, Homicidal Vengeance. He played this character named Luke, and that character morphed it so much into this character. So we looked at many different aspects of him. So he was one of the first persons I actually was very interested in.
I think what drives Magoo is he is does have a dark sense of humor, and he is a little bit strange, and he's also quite a jerk. And instead of calling himself Death, which he's a little bit maybe sick of or jaded with. He calls himself Magoo.
Mike was the one guy that I got to know very well beforehand, and I went to his house, rehearsed with him a bunch, and the first day that we did was all the dark hall scene. Take on this transformation that Raphael just doesn't want to do. He has a fear of death, and that's the last thing he wants to do. So he's fighting, this whole thing. He's pushing it on him.
They were ready to film it, and it was about a 17-minute scene. It was one take.
I'm so hungry! Why do all these people look delicious?
Oh my, let us find life and be quick about it.
Cut! Let's reset that again, please. Good job, everybody. Here we go. Action! Cut it! Duck him, please! Duck him!
All good, good. Round of applause, everybody, for Billy Bird, our stunt driver.
And Adam's a great director because he knows what he wants and he knows how to get there on camera, but he also gives you some freedoms to bring that to the table too.
What's going to happen in this segment, my three principals are going to walk in the frame this way as they're crossing the street. The dolly is going to establish the building, the little around there. As it brings it to here, you guys are going to walk right across. The camera's going to follow you as you get to your car. Let's go through the lines here. So you guys are going to be crossing the street, laughing, having a good time. As you cross the street, you're going to begin dialogue. What does the dialogue start with?
Lance?
Okay, so you're going to come in. That's how you're going to, when you guys start walking in, that's when the dialogue starts. You're going to do your hey girl thing, like goodbye, see you later, call me, we'll do our nails or some shit. And at that point, to you two, obviously you walk that way. And to you two, you guys will do your little flirtish walk, if you will, towards the house. Here we're going to reset. And once we've established these two around the way, we're going to have, and you're just going to kind of like, well, I'm going to do it already. Okay. Very much shorter. You're going to bump into him, right? And then when you bump into him, go ahead and bump into him again. You're going to bump into him. Obviously, I'm a lot shorter than him. So you're going to look up, and then you'll look down, and you'll just say, excuse me, and then you'll just walk this way. There it is. And then Rich, you're just going to turn towards this way. Okay. When we were shooting on locations and such, we were creating bigger scale environments, but a smaller story to revolve around it.
This being an indie film with a low budget, the locations that you guys have got rival anything that I've seen in LA.
Scene 82A, part 1, shot 1, take 1.
Go.
Set.
Action on you guys. Action! I want to welcome you to the rundown house. Okay, so we walk. Right now we're in the beginning stages of making the rundown house an actual film shoot. As you can tell, some of our beautiful landscaping. This is obviously a real location, and you can, I don't know if you got a good view of our trucks on the prowl for being on setup. So,
Somebody's going the wrong way down a one-way street.
yeah, that's probably my guy Bill. Anyways, as we come in here, we're gonna run out of light, but there's light in here. We've roped off spots I don't want anybody going. So this is the main focus point of the segment that we'll be shooting today. We got some beautiful scenery, and you can actually taste this house in your mouth, which is disgusting itself. I don't think you'll be able to see very much in here. I don't know how much your light is. But as the night gets darker...
I can see just fine in there.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You're dimly lit, but I can see.
I can't really, I don't have a flashlight or anything, so, but this is a hallway that we'll be
That I
shooting
can't
at
see.
at some point. But yeah, this is it. Come on, we'll walk the perimeter a little more. One creepy thing about this, when we did the tour of this building, the basement that goes downstairs, you actually see handprints on the walls, and they look like kids, mind you. This is the backyard. A little rundown house. I don't get a good view of that. Here today we are on the man-made set, our Hollywood stage, if you will, in Boston, New York. And I'd like to show you what we've been working so hard on, which is the final segment of the film series of shooting. So come on and take a look here. This is actually from the on-location shoot, if you will, of the house that our actors were at previously. If you come on in here and take a look, we've dirtied it up quite well. And if you look up, there's obviously no ceiling. Yeah, and each wall here is removable. Okay, we kind of did our own little flair, if you will. We got our Metzger. I had the whole cast and crew come in here and sign it that on location today. So everybody that was part of the set today is here with the notion that they've contributed to the set, making this kind of like almost, you know, the victory for filming the movie, you know, bringing it home. Here's our nice beautiful toilet where our principal actor will be at one time or another. Again, this is the location where Gore was, and if anybody has seen the mythology of Deftone Films, Gore is another movie that was made out of our company, and I directed that. But, you know, we got some good things here. Again, our crew is quite interesting. We got a quote up here that I think it stands firm to the nature of our film. And, you know, a couple general things. It's just a real cool showpiece, and you know, we tried to make it look like it was run down, not that it isn't. But to kind of match what the actual location was, and if anybody was on set for those days, they'll know exactly what those locations were. To kind of keep it, you know, the continuity very much alive, we pad the walls with this backer board, if you will. I think that's what they call it, and if they don't, I'm sorry. But you know, you can see more of the stage that we've created here. And I'll bring in, if you'd like, the man that created this. Norm, come on in here. Oh. Norm Quino is the artistic genius behind most of this, besides the graffiti and everything else, but that didn't take a lot of work.
Yeah. No, the graffiti was actually his part. We actually started this set about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I was looking at the receipts. It was 4 months, not 6 months.
Well, that's perfect. 4 months.
Directly behind me is pneumatically controlled trap doors.
Yeah, if you look down, yeah, this floor is actually a trap door, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, right about here. There's a 4 foot wide by 6 foot long trap door. 4 pins. Boom. We can drop an actor through it. Didn't work quite as planned, so we're gonna have the actor just fall into it.
Now, where'd you get a lot of this, like this nice porcelain tub? I think it's really.
This
nice
came directly out of a field.
A field. Okay, so you put a lot of work into getting that. Okay.
This was sitting out in Ruben's field, and he was kind enough to let us bring it out here for this. I found that sitting by the side of the road. Our lovely mirror was $3 at a garage sale. Ruben works for the state and had access to a toilet, so he gave me a garbage toilet. And then the window actually was an old window out of the barn. Everything else is brand new materials. 12 by 16 foot addition to the loft we had to make so we could do the trap doors. The walls are 10 foot tall, all made out of, those are just 2x4 construction. It's 2x8 construction underneath us. The hardest part was building the platform for it. It took the longest time.
And Norm, he had a lot of creative control over this. The only thing I said to him is the door has to match the set. So I said, go for it, make it unique. And this floor it looks phenomenal. The way your team put everything together with getting it nice and dirty, and a lovely graffiti gives the scene character. And I don't know, I think that's it.
Speed.
Scene 79, shot 1G, take 1.
Action. Cut. That's good. And action. Perfect, good. Hey, he's like, I'm not doing that shit again. I ain't doing it again. Good? You're good, that was great. Yeah, that was good.
Put your head down. Put your head down.
All right, ready? Quarter set. Full sound. Full camera.
Speed.
Scene 2A, part 2, shot 1A, take 1. Set.
Please start. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, action.
Damn it.
Reset. Very good, guys.
That was awesome. That's a shot. That's a shot.
Who's my making it?
On Zoom, so all you saw was your forehead.
CD and give them the Jordan. All right, that's no problem. Because I know they all got to be dramatic.
Scene 2A, part 1, shot 4A, take 1.
Ready?
Set. Look.
In this movie, not only my character, but all of them, all the cliches are set up for the audience to think, oh my gosh, it's one of these movies. And every time you start to think that, it literally turns and twists and goes a different direction.
You're annoyed in action.
Are you kidding? I'm half naked here. Come on. Ugh.
Ready? So, 1, 2, 3.
I'm really impressed because in Los Angeles, where I'm from, everything is either fake, filmed on a stage and created, or it's not as elaborate, or it costs millions of dollars to do something very generic. And something that these guys have been able to do and Buffalo has been able to offer is a lot of detail, a lot of depth, a lot of production value, a lot of culture, which we don't have out west. and so it really makes the film feel bigger immediately. And I think that, you know, that helps as an actor too, to have your surroundings be real and be able to interact with it. And it makes the film, you know, epic, which I think it has every potential to be, which is awesome.
Perfect. Get her cleaned up. Call it. Okay, everybody, it's wrapped. Woo! Here we go. We're wrapped.
Someone
Get her warm. Get him warm. Action. We're going to start again right from the initial handshake.
Okay.
Carrie getting out of the car.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want us to go to the end?
And then he's going to just follow you back, do all the close-up type stuff, and then that's it.
And that's it.
You didn't finish the whole line?
No, we're doing it now. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get it all now.
Oh, we're doing it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
doing it, bitch. Bring your bitch on.
There you go. So you don't want her to kick you with those, do you?
Full camera.
Speed.
Scene 73, shot 2, take 3.
Ow! I moved it away.
Here we go. And action.
Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? It's a nice piece of property you got for us here. And when it finally says Stanford.
Wayne had a very interesting role. Well, he wasn't as bad as we thought he was. He wasn't the ultimate jerk, the backstabber at work, for the better officer a nickel more an hour than we thought he wasn't, and in the end, I think maybe he was.
Well, you gotta
Maybe
think about
he was,
Wayne
because he was too good at his job.
How many people know who are gonna be able to relate to like a Wayne character? Because he's not like a very bad guy.
No.
He's just competing like people do in jobs.
Right.
I mean, that's really, and that again, to Britt's credit, he was really able to bring to the screen.
The way it's written can go many different ways. It's all in the accent that we put on it and the personality that you want me to put to it. And when you told me you wanted douchey, cocky, arrogant, rat bastard, I like that character because I can be that. Sometimes I am that. And so it was fun to take it and then kind of get it in my head and develop it and then practice it and treat people like crap on the street, and they didn't know why, but you know, developed it. And then I got out here and you fine-tuned it, so I'm really having fun with this character.
Very nice.
Norm, you'll get the fire extinguisher ready. Okay, all we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot it out the back behind it.
Do we need Michael in this place?
No.
Everybody be nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's a good shot. Move that offset if you don't mind. Give it a nice dunk. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
More in the front. More in the front. Okay, good. Get out there.
Good.
Go, Norm. Yeah. Can you give us any more pressure? Break the illusion. Okay. So you'll keep it in front of you at all times. All right. Just make sure when you're doing it, you can look at it. It doesn't matter. You can actually see it.
Here's
Just
on
make
mic,
sure
guys.
you're following the blade as something. When you two is following, obviously, everything.
Oh, Heavenly God, no! Harvey, no! Oh, God! Ah! Oh, God! Oh, God, it's everywhere! It's everywhere! Oh, my God! Sweet baby Jesus, no! What is happening?
Some of the effects that we've done this time around, it's a lot more reality based.
Got sprayed in the fridge. Oh, wonderful.
I'm not blowing your nose
right?
for you. Perfect. Take a tissue.
A lot more actual Hollywood foam latex prosthetics, which is completely new to Deftone Pictures. They've never used foam latex prosthetics before, which we're the first to integrate.
What? The house is grounded, man. You don't have nothing to worry about. This gonna be a while? Because I've got like perfectly for the execution. I mean, fine, I'll leave it in.
These are dead.
Yeah. Chris? Okay, now getting out of the way, get her towels. Get her towels. Come on. Getting out of the way, get her towels.
Wait.
Bill?
Stop. Go, Bill. Go.
Okay. Put this one up. There you go. Put this one up. Oh, let me just shut it down. Let me get another battery in the battery. Oh, the battery's about to die.
Holy shit. Can we open a window?
What?
I think we're gonna have to do it here. Okay. We're gonna have to do it here. We'll do it in pieces. We'll do it in pieces because if you come down here and you see dude, he's already gonna be mutating or whatever, and you're all upset. So where does Brandon go during the mutation?
He's hiding down here. He's hiding. He's against the wall. He doesn't. Yeah, he's down here. He doesn't even try to get up there until
Is Matt down here?
She's already in the back.
Well, I come back down with the letter and I see that he's gone and he just left his shirt and ran away and I'm all sad.
He's just hiding. He's hiding.
So I'm not yelling Jamie
now. No. But we need that shot.
That too. This is another piece.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's how it's gonna happen. Okay, so because we do have to get the shot. We're gonna have him up or have her up there. She's gonna come back down. This is you hiding now. So what I would do is we're gonna have you run over to this corner here. Okay, this kitty corner. We'll have you go right against the wall, Mike. Thank you, like that. Exactly. She'll say the dialogue. We'll have the camera right here like this so we can see both of you.
Do a looky-loo.
Yep. Yep. Works great. Did you get the envelope?
I have the envelope.
You have the envelope.
There's nothing written on it though.
And then at that point, after we've done that, we're going to come up to the staircase. Mutation thing. Okay.
The script is interesting to me because any script that deals with death, well, that's what horror is all about, is mortality. People are afraid to die. But to deal with death in a funny way, from the time that cinema began through the 30s and all the great comedies, even The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, that's always a great way to go because it lightens up what we're all going to face one day.
Action. 1, 2, 3, go.
Deftone Pictures has done a lot of practical effects and a lot of puppetry in this. And those of you who are horror fans will know what I'm talking about, because when you hear puppetry and practical effects, your ears perk up and you wonder, are they going to be able to do it right? And the answer is yes.
It's okay, Mother. He's gone. The bastard!
Skeletor to set, please. Skeletor to set.
What's wrong, my love? What the hell is going on in this hotel? Get away from my woman, you damn demon!
Thanks for the picture. Oh, got it. Yeah, I took out my...
It's okay, Mother. He's gone. The bastard! Is that okay? Okay.
You old geezer.
How's it looking, buddy?
Looking great. How are you hanging?
Yeah, camel balls or whatever it was. I got camel balls.
John's always low into the side.
I can't help it. You can bungee jump off them friggin' things.
It was 3+ usually every day.
3 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't like I had the same mask or anything. They built the mask on me every day.
Yeah.
So it was 3+ hours for that, plus touch-ups all day long, especially with the heat. And take off.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at at least 4 hours a day plus. When I was younger, my favorite holiday was Halloween.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know why until I got into my 30s, and I realized that I liked, because when I got into a Halloween costume, I got into that character.
Yeah.
And I always liked being somebody different. That's what does it for me. I don't want to play me.
Yeah.
I'm me all day long.
Yeah.
You know.
How did it feel working with Lynn Lowry?
Oh, Lynn was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a real pro.
You guys would create a lot of extra banter.
Yeah, we probably ad-libbed about half of it.
Yeah.
I would say. We stuck to the structure of the script.
Yeah.
But the ad-libbing, she was great at it, and we did a lot of improvising.
Favorite scene for me to Pat Millett is, and I think it was kind of an ad-lib because it caught a lot of the actors and crew off guard, and not actors, excuse me, the crew off guard, not because you two were in on it. It was Lynn Lowry and Pat Millett trying to get frisky. Want to explain a little bit?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it's a scene where we're trying to get frisky, and it's a role play scene that we're doing. And Lynn came up with some ad libs that I was in on. Some of it I wasn't in on.
Some of it you weren't in.
She caught me really off guard.
See, I wasn't sure if you were both in on it.
I was in on probably 90% of it.
But
certain things that you and I would probably say were the funniest.
Wow.
Where she caught me off guard with that, and I just rolled with it.
So then you'll attempt to get back up on the bed, and Mother will.
Without my helmet, then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And almost like Pat, you'll almost be like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
You know, one of those things, like peering over to the bed. And at that point, Mother will say, "You think I care about that?" In all sexy voice.
Okay.
And then Father will say,
Well, it seems to have stopped.
Let's do some of that Kamasutra stuff.
Where were we?
Camel 1.
I might have to stretch first.
Not throw that, just set it down, or?
No. When you say toss it and say, are you ready for me to count for you?
Okay. So we gonna catch that?
You can just okay. Just hit the toes.
You're going close to this way, right?
He's got a stick.
Oh my god.
I like that.
Keep my leg up, right?
Okay.
The more you can, please stay to your right.
What the hell was that?
Oh, I don't care about that. Come on back, let's do some of that Kamasutra stuff.
Well, it seems to have stopped. Where were we?
Ready? Camel 1.
Oh.
Camel 2. Camel balls.
Camel Joe.
I remember having a piece of paper and just putting it over my mouth as we're filming that, and it's
People
hilarious.
in that room were dying.
Yeah.
You know, it was the funniest thing for me. I hope it translates on film as funny as it was to do it, because.
At any point, truly, Pat, at any point did you say, "I don't think this is going to work"?
Well, I had worked on walking with the cane,
Mhm.
and one of the things I did at home was I put a marble in my shoe so that I always knew which foot was the bad one.
Really?
And yeah, but that didn't work. After a while, I said I can't do the whole filming with this marble in my shoe. I curled up my big toe through the entire filming. Every time I had to walk with a cane, my big toe was curled up in my shoe, and those shoes were tight because I got those at Ambets too.
Yeah.
My toe was for a month. It hurt. I must have stretched out a tendon or something, but that kept me, walking the right way with the bad foot.
Wow.
So
See,
nobody really knew that
No,
that
I
I
didn't
was
know
doing that. But that's what. Yeah, the marble was just too uncomfortable, so that's what I went with. I have confidence in Phil and Jill. I've sat in the chair with them a lot before this. When it came to life, there's one thing about this character. You know, as much as I rehearsed the lines and I rehearsed the voice, rehearsed the walk, it didn't come in 100% until I looked in the mirror after the first day of makeup, and then it just popped. And they put those glasses on me and the wig, and I had no worries after that.
Painful. And then you do something wrong, and you know.
It would've been a little lower, which would be fun.
Hello, son. What in Sam hell is going on over here? Well, you might say a fight between a life and death.
I got to fight the Grim Reaper,
You did get to fight the Grim Reaper.
the big ass Grim Reaper, Rich Winnetowski.
Right, yeah.
And every once in a while, I would hear these chuckles coming from underneath the cape because you couldn't see him as he was completely covered. You only know it's Rich because he's huge.
Roll sound. Roll camera. Scene 76. Shot 4. Take 4.
What kind of hotel are you people running here? I see kids, people.
Race.
It was a great opportunity for me to play a comedic character, which, you know, I've done it, but I've never really done it with that much time.
This much level.
Yeah, and it wasn't just working with Lynn was great. We had a great chemistry, and it was fun working with her. But the funny thing about Father is that he's very much in love with his wife. Everyone else is in his way. So the interaction that I got to have with other people, I think, was the funnest.
You also had the cameo of 310 guy.
And the cameo was 310 at the funeral home.
Yeah, black
yeah.
suit.
That was just a little joke, an inside joke that you decided to add.
You're just here at the face. Back of the row your turn. Photobomb.
Pat Millette in A Grim Becoming. And then people can watch Grim Becoming and they're going to see you for like 2 seconds.
That's the truth, yeah. I'm wondering, like, some people I know obviously come out to these things,
Yeah.
and they're probably going to be like, that's it? That's all you got in here? It's 2 seconds?
The Reapers are an incredible asset and part of the film, and the look of them was so multi-ranging and played so brilliantly.
The mythology we created in A Grim Becoming was that each, basically the scythe to each individual Reaper will become more grotesque. It will grow more gnarly and just a lot meaner looking with each individual soul it takes. So the more souls that it takes, the nastier it gets, which is why there's an extra little hook thingy and why this scythe looks so different from this guy over here.
In the mythology, you know, death is brought to by a reaper looking type of being. In this situation, we kind of made death and reapers their own separate entities.
Getting into characters a lot easier when, you know, you got really cool stuff to work with, and you know, it's kind of a transformation you can make from being who I am normally to who I need to be at that time.
One time, Death was a reaper. He wore the whole suit. But then I always get this vision that Death is probably, he got so tired of it where he was having all these extra people come in, he would sit back on the couch and just eat chips.
Obviously it's a physical role. One of the Grim Reapers that I play is more of a comical role, so obviously your movements or the way you portray yourself has to be in a manner at which people can kind of pick up that you're kind of a clumsy, goofy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the neat part is, with the way the script was written, that was kind of built in for me, so I had something to play off it. Yeah. So wasn't really a lot left to me. They did a great job writing it into the script, my actions, my movements. But again, you know, working with you was really cool because you give me a little leeway to kind of, if I think something might work on top of what you already have written for us, you know, you always allow us to do stuff.
What was the most memorable moment, would you say, you had? When I say Grim Becoming, go. What is the first thing that comes to mind?
I think in this movie, we shot we spent a day shooting it, I believe it was at Ellicott Square, which is a really neat building. Architecturally, it's just a really cool scene. Huge hall, tile, ceramics.
Oh, it's
big,
the fight scene
beautiful staircase. Yeah, it's just the place was great. I got to work with Mike, who played Magoo.
Yeah, Death.
You know, and I got to work with Lynn Lowry and John Fleming and stuff, or not John Fleming.
Well, you got to work with John Fleming, but not
John
in that scene,
Fleming, right? Yeah. And that was a really neat scene for me, just because the grandness of the whole thing,
Yeah.
the beautiful staircase, the architecture. It just
kind
seemed
of
like it was,
feel to it.
yeah, it was really kind of like a classic film kind of feel to it,
Right.
you know, between working with all those other people and just the, you know, just the beautiful architecture. Like I hope it, you know, I hope film can capture the beauty of this thing, because Mike looked great as Magoo, Lynn was great, everything was great. It just felt like I kind of had a kind of old time movie kind of horror film to it, but yet, you know, with technology we use today and stuff like that. So I'm anxious and very excited to see if that plays out like I think it should.
Where the hell am I? Right, you can speak. It's perfect. God knows where, with God knows what. I have no idea how to freaking get out of this place.
Why can't we just be chill?
Why can't we just be all chill?
No thanks. When he's trying to say oh no thanks, he'd be kind of like mumbling to himself. Okay, let's try again. Okay, go ahead. Why can't we all just be chill?
Why can't we just be all chill?
You know, thanks.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Good. That's good. It's better. You know, and it doesn't have to be exactly like that. It's just we want to create. It's too dry.
Right.
We need either more stoner
Liven it up.
or more motion, and maybe
We get some water and we'll go through it.
Yeah. Can we get some water down here?
The dude here says you can't take any souls, man. If you do, you'll never get rid of the curse.
Even though it's shorter filming days, it's just a lot more grueling this time around because our cinematographer Matt Nardone he's just very much he's on point every single time. He's like, okay, we get this and this and this set up, boom, we're done, and then we just keep going and going and going. Rather than on Ambus, we would sit and we would experiment with things, going, ooh, this looks good, ooh, this looks good, which would lead to, like, I think the longest was 22 hours on a set. I think, which unfortunately that was our first day on A Grim Becoming. But that was unfortunately just due to the location at the grain mills, and that couldn't be avoided.
So as she walks out, you walk by. And then once you walk by,
Bill,
you're in there, you're doing your scene there. That way
The locations that we've been doing are amazing. Just the architecture and the buildings, they're places that I would never go if I wasn't filming. So I feel really lucky to have seen and worked with everybody in Deftone Pictures on all these sets, because there's no way I would ever even know they existed, and they're beautiful.
I'm gonna be going away for a while, so take care of the company.
Okay.
Cut it. That's good. Good take.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, this is the first film I've done outside of LA, and I'm happy that I did, and I'm looking forward to doing more indie film stuff outside of the bubble, as they call it, because you get outside of the LA bubble and you meet a lot of people who are working on these indie films, who are out here because they have it in their heart, they have a passion for this. It's not just a job to them. In LA, you get on some of these sets, and it's just a job to them. It's a grind. They're getting their paycheck, they're going home, they don't really give a about anything. But you get out here on these indie sets outside of LA, and it's more like a family. It's more like, I mean, there's tension and everything, that always happens. But
yeah, with anything, right?
With anything. But it's nice to be on a set where people actually know each other
And they
and want to
appreciate
hang
you.
out with each other.
Yeah.
Ground bench was perfect, guys.
Am I in right there? You're clean. I'm good.
And ladies.
Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set and background.
Oh,
here we go.
You gonna sing a song?
I think I know what he's gonna play. Love is a universal language, ladies and gentlemen. Spoken the same in the darkest, coldest recesses of Russia. It is right here in the United States of America. This is a song about love. Dedicated to Britt Griffith. Here we go. Shatanya, Shatanya, Shatanya. In Russian it means I love you. And if I had my way, I'd shit on you every day. Shatanya, Shatanya, Shatanya. How about Italian? Pisania, Pisania.
Cut it there. That's enough. We got it. We got it! Here. You don't have any more lines, Mike, after that?
Yes, I do.
We'll get them. Because it's the invisible dog now.
Yes, the dog is
That after that touch, that was perfect.
Yeah, I have to touch them when I feel appropriate to touch
And
them.
it was
So
right.
It was good, right?
Yep, it was perfect. And you played off, and it gave him something to play off of. All right. Did you guys feel good about it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We're good.
I'm sweating. I like you, Mary. I like you a lot. So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's not a story.
All right, guys.
Why? I don't look like I like him? It was interesting because to do take after take of, you know, somebody yelling in your face and just trying to like keep your composure and just keep into character is just really difficult.
This guy, he loves blood.
Yep.
He loves blood. His motto is, why use a drop when a bucket will do?
That is, I never had anybody say it to me like that.
That's why I'm an Adam
actually is
Steigert fan. And I'm always going to remember that when they say, oh, Adam Steigert, he's the one who uses the bucket when a drop would have done.
Well, you can address me if you want, big boy. Oh, you got the small kid's belt, huh?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Right arm. Down, up.
That actually looks pretty cool.
That.
Okay, roll sound, speed. Roll camera.
Where's that speed?
Scene 76, shot 29, take 2.
Action.
Action.
Somebody call an ambulance!
Action.
Wait! Hold still.
Just describing your character a little bit. Initially, we kind of gave the Bill character. He was more of a really kind of like more of a plain, would you say, character?
He was
initially?
boring, Adam. That's what he was.
Boring.
He
There
was
you go.
boring. Adam assigned me a boring character, and so we tried to
flavor it up.
Flavor it up to make that not. I'm like, if I were a detergent, I would be creepy Tide. So however you wash your clothes in me, they're going to come out creepy. So Phil, run through my filter, comes out just a little on that side.
He'll turn around, and when he turns around, one hand is going to go up, the other hand is going to go up, as like zombie life, to sit himself up out of the coffin. Obviously, your eyes are sewn shut, so it's not happening. But I mean, like your eyes are not opening. So at that point, when he sees this, he's going to just kind of take a glance back as if maybe he needs just to, look at his nephew one more time. And when he does this a second time, he notices the hands. Now, all of you guys are oblivious to this for some strange reason. So what's going to happen is you can't really take notice of him trying to fight this guy. So basically, he now has a personal struggle trying to keep this guy in the coffin, who's now trying to get out of the coffin, and going to disturb all of you. Okay? So that's all. That's it. All right? So here are the rules. Don't look at Brandy when he's up here. Okay? And don't take notice of the craziness that is about to happen here, unwind, if you will. So with that being said, you're still all very depressed, sad, he's dead up here, or is he, right? That's it.
Holy shit. Sorry, bud.
I can say it now. A real coffin. It was a real coffin this man was in. I was told the insides are changed, whatever the hell that means. But did it freak you out at all?
Absolutely not. Actually, believe it or not, that was what I was looking forward to the most. I was looking forward to
As an actor, I would not have been able to do that. That would have been like overcoming some like type of fear that I...
See, I looked at it as everyone else on set had to be on their feet, and I was in a comfortable coffin.
Let me ask you something serious about a coffin. Is it very comfortable?
It's more comfortable than my bed.
Really?
Yes.
Plunger. Plunger's coming.
Yeah.
So I got to stumble over this.
You remember what to use?
So, yeah.
Scene 5A, shot 10, take 2.
Do your action, Dan. Go back where you were.
Back to your left.
Right there.
Right there. That's perfect. Okay, so same thing as before. On action, Mike, you're going to follow the frame and Goose move down, okay? Everybody ready? And action.
A lot of people say that there's too much blood in my films. Do you think that's a true statement? Too much blood in my films?
Well, as I found out in Deftone, a cup means a gallon.
Yes.
A cup means a gallon, and I love it.
On 3, 1, 2, 3, action.
That was pretty good. I really psyched myself out for this because I've been leads in a couple of my own films, like really short ones, but I've never been this big of a role before, so I was really nervous about it. I didn't know what the film was about. I got the vibe that was horror, but I thought it was more thriller just by looking at the cover of it. I had no idea what this was going to be about. He said it's a horror comedy. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, let's see what this thing's all about. And I start reading it, and I'm like, wow. This is like, I'm literally picturing myself doing and saying everything that Raphael is, and I'm just like, okay, now I understand why he picked me for this, because I just like, I'm reading this is me.
I think there's a little bit of a flirtation with him, just a little smidge. So the way I would act is maybe you're kind of like more of a, you almost kind of want to touch him, kind of like that. What's going on with it? Yeah, and that's when you got to just kind of play off like, and maybe you would even think that maybe he's kind of rejecting you, but you're still kind of in that grieving phase, so you need that attention still. So if that helps at all. You don't think of an indie film being so elaborate with the amount of locations that we were able to obtain. Not only the amount of locations, but the amount or the size of these locations. These are huge locations. You're shooting in caves, you're shooting on city streets, you're shooting in skyscrapers, you're shooting in skyscrapers. You're doing things that a lot of indie films can't do because they're a little nervous about it, or they don't have the funding. Where we stepped in, we were able to create that element on so much smaller scale and still create a good story.
Why not? I don't see it on this stuff at all. I don't see that.
Action! Alright, we got it!
I have been a fan of Adam's work since I heard all the buzz about On This, and everybody that I spoke to raved about what it was like to work with him and his crew, and he just had the best reputation. So as soon as I heard that they were casting, I sort of kind of started stalking everything that they did, because you try to gravitate towards other wonderful people in the industry who are not only talented but also very kind, and he has certainly proven to be all that and more.
Action!
I was very excited about not only acquiring her for our film, but to share a scene with her as well, because, you know, she's a top shelf actress. She's wonderful. And she played it so well. She played it so cynical. And she's beautiful. And her wardrobe was beautiful. And she was so full of life, as the character dictated.
No pun intended, right?
No, she was perfect. But if you watch the little asides that she had with Magoo, they're buddies.
They have a history together.
They've been together for a while, and she kind of had his back on a few things that she said about, you know, watch this kid and, you know, different things. So it was a fascinating.
She also wears, and I don't know if people see it in the film, but almost like an Easter egg, if you will, but she also wears something that Death gave her a long time ago.
Right, the necklace.
The necklace, right. And if you just look at it, I mean, that was Jessica as an actress coming on and putting that type of spin on the character, saying, because there is a relationship that has happened in the past with life and death, this should be implemented, or it should be implied a little more firmly. And she came up with this necklace thing, saying that, hey, maybe he gave it to her years and years ago.
Right.
And
millenniums.
Yeah, I was gonna say millenniums ago.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Welcome to the set
Jessica Rabbit is
of Becoming. I am here today, as you can see in the surroundings, of the Cove in Buffalo, New York, the home of seafood and steak. And action! Today we are working with some of the rather well-known people, which happens to be Aaron Fitzgerald, Mike Shabrashi, Brandon Williams, I can't even remember if that's how good they are, and the notorious by far, Jessica Cameron. We are here on set just taking a look at the surroundings of our environment, and we want you to come along with us.
Now, I heard that you asked for this. Is that true?
Oh yes, I asked for this. I've been begging for this. Well, I've been begging to die, not necessarily be this. I don't regret this at all. Although it is very, very uncomfortable, I don't regret it at all.
She sat in the makeup chair for 5 hours. She's a champ. She really is.
This is Adam. Don't ask for anything.
Yeah, because she asked to be dead, and
I asked
now
to
she's
die.
hating to be
No,
dead.
I asked to die, not be dead.
Well, we gotta be called back again, so let's go. Okay. Till next time.
Remain dead!
You'll be fine.
No, she will not. She is dead, and it only gets worse from here. And the smell.
I don't want to be dead anymore! Wait, what did you say? A reaper? Like a grim reaper?
Well, on that note, you can just walk back. They want me standing here.
Yeah. And you know, even that might help a lot better as you walk back to see who or see her. You can just walk on frame and then we'll get it on the, we'll get it when we shoot Aaron. And you can come back in and then she'll be gone, obviously. And then who will be standing off to the side.
One acting normal. Nothing to see here. Balls.
Okay. Alright. We got it.
Art is supposed to move us and inspire us. Art is supposed to provoke thought, anger, or love. And if any of that occurs from the character Magoo, I guarantee that they'll find it in the film. But if any of that transposes from my humble attempt at Magoo, aka Death, then I'm really happy because I had an awful lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Mike Sarcinelli is wrapped. And it's emotional to say this, but I'm going to wait until his eyes are finally out. Magoo, Michael Shabrazi is wrapped. One last thing, everybody here, great job. I love every single person standing on this set or sitting on this set right now. Seriously, you guys did a fantastic job.
I applaud you.
Lots of love. Absolutely. All the crew, fantastic. That's all I gotta say.
Alright, it's official, my friends. It is wrapped. We've done another feature film. And this one, more so than any film that we've worked on prior, has meant more to me than anything. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and everybody that's part of Deftone and part of this organization. Everybody here contributed in some fashion. And without this film, regardless if you're in it or on the outside of it, we wouldn't be here today. So, you know, in the future, I hope you guys come back and work with us again, because it's you know, everybody here is a pleasure to work with. Ha! And I don't think everybody here is officially letting that sink in. But let me try it again. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
This is an extremely professional film outfit, one of the most professional I work with in Los Angeles or outside of. I think they're going places. And I'm sure, I was going to say I think, but I'm sure that A Grim Becoming is going to be a hit movie. I'm sure of it.
I hope so.
It's really, really funny. It's creepy. It's weird. It's all the things that you would expect if I say it's a horror comedy.